Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. So today for math, we are going to be transitioning to a new type of number problem that we'll be working on. In the past, we have been, or last week, we were starting to do subtracting, like revisiting subtracting, because we haven't done it in a while. We've done a lot of addition. And now we're going to do double digit subtracting. So we're going to have two numbers, and both of those numbers are going to have two digits in them. Last week we had two numbers, but one of the numbers was a double digit number and the other number was a single digit number. So now both of the numbers that we see on our math problems are going to be double digit numbers, and we're going to need to regroup. So that means we're going to have to borrow numbers, and I will show you exactly what that means. We're going to start today with our tens and ones strategy. And before we begin, I want to remind you, one, the code for IXL, and two, how to get to the assignment. So our code for today is TWE. And how you get there is you have to find your search bar, and it looks like a little magnifying glass. And on the search bar, you type in TWE, and it should come up. It says right here. Usually it's right here. Usually it's on the top, but I guess they added some more stuff on IXL, so we just have to look right here on the bottom. It says subtract two two-digit numbers with regrouping. If you see that title, that means you are gonna click on the right assignment. So that's the one you click, and that's what I already clicked right here, and I will rewrite the code so that you can see it. Let me put it in black. So our IXL code is TWE. Okay, so when you get your iPad, you touch that IXL app and you type in TWE to find the assignment for today. All right, so now we have our subtraction problem. Right here, it says 70 minus 19. And we want to practice our tens and ones strategy. So the first thing we do when we do a tens and ones strategy is we create our tens and ones chart. So I'm going to be asking the teachers for some support as I do this, just to remind us on what our steps are, so that we really master this strategy. Just in case it is the most efficient, we can use it and have it in our repertoire for next time. All right, so I know that when I start, I do the tens and ones chart. There's a column for the tens place and a column for the ones place. And now I know that I need to start with the first number or a minuend. And that, in this case, it's 70. So if I have 70, I want to look at the tens place so that I can draw how many tens are in the tens place. So I see 7, so that means 7 10 rods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and now I'm looking at the ones place, but I notice that there's a 0, so that means that I don't have anything in my ones place this time, so I'm going to leave it blank. Okay, now I notice that I need to subtract 19, but I don't have anything in my ones place, so I'm not sure what to do. I'm a little stuck here because there's nothing in my ones place, but I have to subtract 9 from the ones place. So can anyone help me? Ms. Rosales, what should I do first?
So you 9 units, and what you can do is take one of your 10 rods, which is composed of 10 units, and convert it back into 10 units.
Okay, so that means I'm going to take my 10 rod and decompose it into 10 units or 10 ones?
Yes.
Okay, so then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I like to count by fives because it helps me quickly subtract or add. 4, 5. Okay, so now I borrowed one of those 10 rods and I decomposed it, took it apart, and made 10 ones. Now I have enough to subtract 9. So I know that I need to subtract 19. We're not adding, because this symbol right here, that's the symbol for subtracting. That means taking away. So I can subtract now. So let me go back to my green, and I can take away 9, and I know 5 on the bottom. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I only have one left over. Oops, that was a little sloppy. I'm going to erase it and try again. Okay, so I have 1. And then remember, I don't have this anymore because we had taken it apart and made 10 ones. We decomposed that 10 rod and we made 10 ones in the ones place. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens. So altogether, I have 61. So 70 minus 19 is equal to 61. Let's see if we're correct using this tens and ones strategy. I'm going to go back to my mouse, plug in the answer here, 61, and then press submit. Incorrect. What did I do incorrectly? Well, that's okay. So this is a great learning opportunity because it shows us exactly what we did wrong here, right? So Miss T, can you tell us what did we do incorrectly this time?
I think we only took away the 9 from 19 and we didn't take away the 10 from 19.
There we go. Okay, so now I need to go back because I was thinking that we're still taking away the 1 digit, but we have to remember that we still had this digit under this 10, right? So if you get an answer incorrectly, don't just skip through this part because this is important. It's going to explain to you, it's the explanation, it's explaining to you what we did incorrectly so that we can try again and maybe get the right answer the next time. So right here it's telling us, okay, we subtracted by ones, we did that, where we regrouped our tens. But just like Miss T said, we forgot to take away that extra 10. We had decomposed 110, but that wasn't the 10 that it asked us to decompose. All right, so now that we know that, let's go on to the next one. Let's try it again. Okay, so what do I do first if I'm doing the tens and ones strategy, Ms. Rosales?
You draw out the T-chart, tens and ones, and look for your minuend.
Perfect. And in our minuend, when it's written vertically, which means you have 2 numbers on top of each other, they're stacked, the minuend is always the one that's on top. So then I can see here, my minuend is 80. So then I have to draw 8 tens this time. 8, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now I need to take away, I noticed that there's 0 in our 80, so I'm not going to draw anything here because this is just 80. But I need to take away 14, but I don't have anything in my ones place. And I remember Ms. Rosales saying that I need to get one of the 10 rods and decompose them into 10 ones or units so that we have enough to subtract. And that's called regrouping. So we're taking a 10 rod and we're putting it in a different group, regrouping. Okay, so let me try that. I like to use a different color just to show my thinking a little bit more clearly. This is pink. So I have, here's my 10 rod that I'm going to be regrouping, and I'm going to put it up here. So that goes in, that makes 10 ones. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I know it was a little messy. Actually, let me fix that. I want everyone at home to know that these are together. Okay, so now I have enough to subtract. Let's try this again. I subtract 14, that's my subtrahend, and 14 is made up of 4 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what I have left is here. And I have to remember my tens now. Okay, I don't have this one anymore, but then I also have to take away 1 more 10. Here we go. Okay, now I should have the right answer. Let's check. So I have 6 ones, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens. All right, so my answer is 66. And I'm looking it over again. I took away 1 10 and 4 ones. Okay, now I can plug in the answer and hopefully I get the right one. So that was 6 and 6. All right, now let's cross our fingers. Yay! Okay, now I remember that I need to take away that tens place. That just because I regroup does not mean I got the entire answer. There's still more. Okay, let's try a different strategy. We're gonna try the strategy of a number line. So if I were to use a number line for this problem, 50 minus 48, what would be the first thing I need to do? Do any of my teachers have a suggestion? What's my first step? Miss T, can you help us out? What would be the first thing that I do?
Are we trying to do a different strategy for, should we choose a strategy of number line or a different strategy?
Ooh, what strategy are you thinking?
I was thinking maybe number line.
Okay.
Because that's easier for me to visualize.
Okay, a number line.
But unless you guys want to try a different strategy, that's fine too.
No, I think a number line is great.
Okay, so I would draw the number line, and then because we're subtracting, then we end on the right-hand side of the number line would be 50, because we're going to be counting backwards.
Perfect. So on this side, we are counting backwards, so we need to start with our minuend, which is our first number, the top number. Remember, if it's a vertical problem, that means they're stacked onto each other. The minuend is going to be the top problem. Okay, so we have 50, and then what do I do next, Ms. T?
And then I look at my next number that I'm subtracting, which is 48, and I want to go by, I think I'm going to count to subtracting by breaking down the 48 to 40 and 8.
So let me write that right here so that we know how we're decomposing this number. So she has 48 and she wants to decompose it. Go ahead, Miss T. How are you going to decompose it?
So 40 and 8.
40 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
Because we see that 40 plus 8 makes 48. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I can even further decompose the 40 into, I know that's 4 tens. So I would jump back 4 tens.
Perfect. That's exactly what I was thinking too. I visualized those 4 tens. So here's 3, because 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 equals 40. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I would only do this because I'm doing the number line, but I would take away the tens place first because it's easier for me to count back when I know it's ending at 50, which is a 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go 50 to 40 to 30, 20, and then 10.
So 30, 20, and I'll tell you right now, and 10. Mm-hmm. So at home, we need to remember that these jumps are not one jumps, they're 10. We're jumping back by 10. So it's important to put that minus 10 on top of those hops to show exactly how many numbers we're jumping back by. So back by 10, and those are our 4 tens, okay?
Mm-hmm. And then I have the 8 ones left over, so now I'm going to count back 8 ones. So I could do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So I end at 2.
All right, let's see if Miss Yakimowicz drew enough, if we have enough on our chart. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And then our answer is 2. So she counted back in her head. So if we were 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So then our answer here is 2. So for me, it's really easier for me if I do my jumps first and I count those jumps. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then go back and count back. Because then I get confused in my brain and then I have I'm trying to do 2 things at once and it gets confusing. So I like to break it apart like that. That just helps me. But it seems like, okay, let's check our answer again. Did we subtract 48? Let's see. 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. Beautiful. So then we had 50 minus 48 equals 2. All right, let's check if this answer is correct. Gonna put my answer here. And we know it's a single digit number because they're not giving us the opportunity to put anything in the tens place. So that gives us a little hint. Yay, we got the correct answer. Beautiful. So now we have another problem. And with this problem, we are going to do a friendly number strategy. So I'm going to write it horizontally. Maybe that'll help us out. So 70 minus 54 equals, So I'm going to give you guys a minute. What's a way we can use this friendly number strategy to solve this problem? And when you see this at first, friends, it's a little daunting because they're two really big numbers and you don't know where to start with. So, All right, I see Miss T is ready. Miss Rosales is ready. All right. Miss Hernandez, can you share your friendly number strategy?
Well, I'm thinking of that number 54. I kind of want to change that to a 50 because 50 is an easy number for me to think of. So if I'm going to change that, I'm going to break down the 50 and a 4.
50 and 4 make 54. Okay.
Okay. So then if I do that, I'm thinking if I take away that 4 from the 50, I'm going to have to also take away the 4 from 70. So this is kind of what I did.
Okay.
So if I take away the 4 from the 54, that's going to give me 50. But I also have to take away 4 from the 70. That'll get me 66.
And how did you get 66?
Because since I took away 4 from the 50, I also took away the 4 from the 70.
And did you count that in your head? You went 70?
So I did 70, 69, 68, 67, 66. I counted down.
Okay.
So that left me with 66 minus 50. And then I put that in the tens and ones chart like we were doing before. And it's easier for me to see now if I do 6 minus 0 in the ones place and the 6 minus a 5 in the tens place. Those are easier numbers for me to subtract.
I see. And 6 minus 0 is?
6. And 6 minus 5 is 1. And I get the answer of 16.
Okay. All right. Let's see if our answer is correct. I love how you decomposed it. And I'm wondering why, I have a question. Why did we subtract 4 from 70 again?
Because if I make a change from the 54, I also have to make that change on the 70. Okay. So since I took away 4 from 54, I also took away 4 from the 70.
Okay, so it's kind of like, okay, so I have to do, whatever I do to one number, I have to do to the other number to make sure that it evens out. Okay, right. So I need to put that here so that we remember what we did. And our answer is 16. So let's see what we got. So in the ones place is a 6, and in the tens place is a 1. And let's see if we got the correct answer. Yay, we did. So friends at home, you saw 3 different ways or 3 different strategies you can use to subtract 2 double-digit numbers with regrouping. So you can use any of those strategies, whichever strategy you feel comfortable with. So don't pressure yourself into using a new strategy unless you really want to challenge yourself to work on that strategy to get better. But if you have another strategy that you know where you can use that will give you the right answer, use that strategy and really take ownership of it. All right, so that's what we're doing for today, and we will be coming back to this on Thursday. So keep practicing, keep challenging yourself to do your very best, and don't give up on yourself. I know it's tough sometimes, but remember, we're always here to help you. If you ever get stuck on something, just message us in Seesaw or Class Dojo, and we'd be really happy to help you. Okay? Have fun, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Don't forget to subscribe.